This is the Southside School of Financial Freedom Market Report and Small Account Update for the week ending August 31st, 2024. The market finished mixed this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average increased 0.55% on Friday and was up 0.94% for the week. The S&P 500 increased 1.01% on Friday and was up 0.24% for the week. The Nasdaq increased 1.13% on Friday, but was down minus 0.92% for the week. Looking at the week, we can see that there were 8 up finishes versus 7 down finishes for the major indexes. On Monday and Thursday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up, while the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq finished down. On Tuesday, all the major indexes finished up. On Wednesday, they all finished down. And on Friday, all the major indexes finished up again. How did you do? My small account finished minus 8.53% lower, but generated cash flow of 0.85%. Even when the market falls and or my account doesn't do well, I still get income or cash flow by selling covered calls and naked puts. This method does not only guarantee cash flow or income, it can also beat the S&P 500. I have a watch list to determine which options of stocks that I want to sell. A stock has to meet 5 criteria to be put on my trading watch list. I will not reveal what my criteria are, but if you examine my list, you may be able to figure out the criteria for yourself. The last row is my benchmark row. That is, I measure my performance against gold, silver, and the S&P 500. Looking at my watch list from the week, the strongest performer on the list was SoFi Technology Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFI, in the second column. It was down minus 0.5% on Friday, but increased 6.25% for the week. SoFi Technologies Incorporated provides various technology-based financial services in the United States, Latin America, and Canada. They have 3 segments of operations: lending, technology platform, and financial services. SoFi allows members to borrow, save, spend, invest, and protect their money. They offer various loans, including student loans and home loans. SoFi has a technology platform that offers a cloud-based digital and core banking platform with financial services. Their financial services include checking account, savings account, credit cards, debit cards, as well as cash management. Looking at a summary of results, you can see that SoFi has decreased minus 19.7% year to date. I did not generate cash flow from SoFi this week, but I have in the past. I generated cash flow from selling 2 different option contracts. They were 2 calls that ranged from $14.34 to $20.34. And it was not until Friday where I sold the 2 calls, one for $14.34 and one for $20.34. That's a total of $34.68, which is not a lot of money, but the account is small. And the $34.68 in cash flow was 0.85% of my account value. With this system, the cash flow money is free and clear. You can take it out of your account and spend it, or leave it in to build your cash balance and or invest it. If you want to increase the amount of cash flow, just use a larger account. So, for example, to 10x the cash flow from $34.68 to $346.80, use a larger account, and instead of selling 1 of everything that I sold, sell 10. This strategy is guaranteed to produce cash flow immediately and every week that it is applied. However, it does not guarantee the amount of cash flow from week to week, nor the value of your account. The amount varies and the account value varies. Despite the variations in amount and value, the goal is to generate cash flow and beat the S&P 500. Note, most professional money managers and their strategies do not consistently beat the S&P 500 every year. they usually lose, and they lose by a lot. Last year, this method beat the S&P 500 by almost 12%, but in 2024, my account is down minus 21.69% versus 18.59% up for SPY, which is an S&P 500 ETF. That's a difference of 40.28%. So I am losing to the S&P 500 by more than 40% this year. It is not unusual to beat the S&P 500 one year and then lose to the index the next year. And that is what I am currently doing. I am still trailing SPY by a lot. I am confident that I will gain on the S&P 500 and beat it by year's end. Time is running out though. Tune in next week to find out what happens. Bitcoin watch. Bitcoin lost minus 7.83% this past week and is down minus 19.57% from its all-time high. It is up just over 41% year to date. Some people believe that Bitcoin is the most transformative financial asset in 1,000 years. I think the best course of action is to dollar cost average, that is DCA, into the S&P 500 and DCA into Bitcoin at a 30 to 70% ratio for the next 10 years and or up to when you have invested at least $10,000. In fact, I have implemented a similar strategy where I have a portfolio that is about 85% in a Bitcoin ETF. After 11 weeks, it is down to minus 5.57%. However, the S&P 500 SPY is up 3.85%, and the cash flow system is down minus 9.51% in those 11 weeks. What do you think? What is your strategy? Do you know how to produce cash flow every week and beat the S&P 500? Do you invest in Bitcoin, which may prove to be the smartest investment of the decade? As you develop, analyze, and implement your strategy, please check back to see how my small account and my Bitcoin dominant account performs against the S&P 500 from week to week by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you.